All right, it should be recording now.
Hey.
Actually, check because usually it says like the meeting is now being recorded.
No, yeah, it says that.
It says recording for me.
All right, I'm just gonna hop in. Welcome to. Okay, let me. It's hard without the music. Fuck you guys, dude. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to season 2 of the ABA Gazette. We are the I fucked it up again, boy.
No, that's perfect. Just keep going, and I'll edit it. I'll chop it later. It'll be fine.
Okay, for sure.
I'll use that.
All right. I don't know. I should say like an intro, like thanks for playing, right, or some shit.
You could just say like welcome the new bros.
Yeah, true.
How many new bros do you have anyways?
Like 4 or something,
Lucas,
right?
Pat, Ricky, Connor. Is that it?
4 new guys and they got smacked.
Yeah, damn. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. I want to say welcome to all the new players of the ABA. We're really excited to have you. It's great to have fresh blood in the rest of the season. We had a great battles, great week of results. We want to get into a little recap for you so you can understand what's going on in the league, the drama, the intrigue, all the things you got to know about the ABA. That's what we'll be discussing on this podcast. I want to introduce everybody to the other people that will be talking on the podcast. We got Ethan, we got Luis, we got Jazzy, and we got Matt. It's a star-studded cast. And why don't we just get into some of like the administration and keep up. Well, actually, what do you want to talk about first, Matt?
How about we just get right into the draft? So yeah, we had the draft 2 weeks ago. Pretty cool that we got 16 people all online at the same time. I was thinking I think what we should do is like, one, we could talk about like, I think the first round is especially interesting, just because, those are really the top tier mons. I think we could also just kind of say like we can split up the draft into 2 halves, like who had the strongest first half, and then also like who did really well in the later rounds, because there's a lot of sleepers in the round 8, 9, 10.
Sure.
I guess do you guys want to talk a little bit about what was going on in Pool B?
Yeah, I think starting off with Pool B is a great place. Honestly, I think the first round picks in B were honestly to be expected. I really do. Like Dragapult going first, that was really interesting to me. I wanted to know Luis's thought process behind picking Dragapult first, because Dragapult is really versatile, and it's also just with that high speed tier, it's like it's hard to counter, hard to wall. So it's a really good first pick, but usually I would think that you go for a lot of people pick defensively first, which is what you see later on. And I'm surprised that Toxapex went third from the first round. I thought it would probably go first for both people, except that, and it really didn't, which is surprising to me. But I think Pool B's first round picks were all just really, really strong. I think they're probably overall better than Pool A.
Yeah, hey, Luis and I actually both won Dragapult first. That is just a monster of a Pokemon, bro. It's the Lando T of this generation, I swear.
For Dragapult, if your opponent can't prepare for everything with Dragapult, like there's just no way.
Yeah.
So if you bring the right set or they prepare for the wrong set, they're just fucked. It's really stressful to prepare against. And I honestly think it's the best Pokemon like in draft, which is why I picked it first round, first place. I think it's like that worth it, honestly.
I think another reason it's really strong too is because like on the ladder, like you almost play Clef or Mandibuzz every single game.
Yeah.
And I think those are Dragapult's 2 biggest counters. And so just the fact that only one person can have Mandibuzz and there is no Clefable just kind of makes it's too strong.
Yeah, I agree. Dragon Ball is the best draft Pokemon. That's a big claim. Honestly, so far it's lived up to it though. game one. I mean, we saw how strong Dragapult was for Luis. So
Yeah, game one when I sacked that shit for no
well,
reason.
that game was like match week
Oh,
one.
funny.
Your Dragapult was really strong, but
Yeah.
you crunched the fuck out of him the first as soon as it switches, and that was really funny. But also, we see that for me and for both Patrick picked second in Pool B. Volcarona goes first, and honestly, Volcarona is that really strong Pokemon that once it sets up, if it gets a Quiver Dance off and you don't have a Rock type Pokemon, it's almost game over from that point on. So the hard part is getting Volcarona in the position to set up, which we've seen from both matches that involve Volcarona didn't even get a chance to start killing things. So hopefully later on we see what Volcarona is capable of and if it warrants that first pick at all. And I
Also,
mean, if like,
there's
yeah,
heavy,
go ahead.
There's heavy duty boots now, which makes
Yeah,
kind of
so
crazy.
good. So good. Not taking the rocks damage. You don't have to worry about spinning or fogging, which is huge. And not taking the 50% each time you switch in just really adds to the longevity that Volk has in games too, which is great. I mean, and then for both people who went third, they got Toxapex, which is super interesting. I mean, Toxapex we all know. We don't hardly even need to talk about it. It's probably one of the best defensive Pokemon in OU. Probably the best defensive Pokemon in draft, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And we saw last season. Everybody knows how good Toxapex was. So it's just a great pick. Ethan touched on Dragapult, and then for Pool B against Slowbro. What do you guys feel about Slowbro? I think Slowbro is really great, especially with Teleport. It's such a great Pokemon now.
We were talking about it in call. Sven was saying it was garbage, and we were like, Sven, you're capping, bro. Like, it's insane.
I know the guy's not here right now, but he's a cap star. I'm sorry. Slowbro is so good. It's a really good Pokemon.
Slowbro, dude, I was surprised that like the playing against it this week, the future sight was actually really a hassle for me to deal with, dude. I had to really play around that, which I think is interesting. And definitely teleport too. It's just an incredible pivot for sure.
Yeah, definitely, because you can eat a hit, teleport out, get your regenerator, come back in at full or near full.
Yeah.
I feel like that's super underrated, and then you gain momentum afterwards. That's something that really can't be underestimated. Is it gaining that momentum, especially when you have scary ass Pokemon like Kyurem and Rillaboom. Slowking too. Wow, that's crazy.
I think Jeremy had the best draft in Pool B. Like if we just look at the first 5 rounds, like I don't know, that's getting Zero Aura in the 3rd round is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I was surprised that Langston took Rotom-Mow right before Zero Aura. My guess is it's because Langston's team is super weak to Earthquake, so at least having Rotom-Mow kind of gives him that Levitate switch in. But yeah, I think Jeremy's team is dirty.
Yeah, Jeremy just
Such
like
a good
last season has
drafter,
a
bro.
great drafter and honest. It's like debatably best player too. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like I feel like he's gonna again go really far. I mean, and like his whole team is really well balanced too. So I think
I feel like Rillaboom is like a huge threat, bro, that I'm not respecting at all. As
Dude,
much
bro, Rillaboom is an issue, man.
Yeah. Like if you don't have anything that resists the Grassy Glide or the Wood Hammer, like you're in for a fucking tough time. Because when it's boosted in that grassy terrain, I'm sorry, you're virtually sacking something just to try and get some damage off to see if you can kill it. And it's like with the Swords Dance set, the Choice Bandit set, and the Scarf set, like it really has that offensive versatility that is you need from like your Talisman offensive Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then he has it in combination with Zeraora too, which is stupid. Like that's pivots. He has the best team for pivoting. Like he has so many great Pokemon that can pivot with Slowbro, Rillaboom, and Zeraora. It's really scary.
If he built a Cloyster team, it would just be nasty because you could just basically just keep pivoting until you get Cloyster in a position where it can Shell Smash, and then that might be game.
And there's also like looking at a lot of people's teams, there's not too many people who can take on a boosted Cloyster. Like that I feel like is going to be super, super scary. There's very few people who I see out here who can really take that thing on. But I don't know. I feel like we have players in this time around who are good enough to not have that happen. But then again, it is Jeremy, and Jeremy knows what he's doing. So it's like a combination of him and drafting well. It's just golden ticket, honestly. And if you want to move on to Ricky, I think Ricky honestly has a pretty interesting team. I mean, you saw week 1 results didn't really go his way, but he has the Excadrill Hippowdon combination, which is really strong. And I feel like Excadrill is honestly a really good first round pick because it's not just like it although it is a really offensively oriented Pokemon, it still has a versatility that you can spin with it, you can set rocks and use it as a lead. So it's a really good pick, and then gives you a guaranteed spinner, which is really important in draft because there's a lot of players. Well, not a lot. There's players who don't have the best hazard removal, and we saw that last season. People who didn't have hazard removal. I remember Ryan had 0 hazard removal, and he got punished big time. So I feel like just getting that in first is a really solid play overall for Ricky, and hopefully he can show how good Excadrill is in his upcoming matches because he got washed in his first game.
Yeah, I would say, I think the other picks that stood out to me in the first half was like Jake getting Chansey in the 5th round. That's nuts.
Yeah,
That's actually nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Also, I think Hydreigon at this 4th pick, that's incredible. Like, Double Dragon is hella scary.
Yeah,
Luis, I was so scared of you bringing Hydreigon, bro.
Really?
I mean, Dragapult was enough. I mean, if you notice from our game, and we'll get into this later, I'm sure, but like, if I kill Dragapult, like, I was in the clear. But if it was alive, I'm fucked. Like, it was like if you took out Barraskewda, like, it was over. It was like, I don't know. It was interesting. But Lawrence, we fucking drafted for him. I guess we skipped past Sven. We could go to Sven first.
Yeah. Vandenberg's first pick, obviously.
Sven just has his like same ass team. Fucking Mandevez, Rotom, Gastron,
Memo.
Sven's team is incredible.
The thing with Sven is that he knows what works for him, and like his play, like he's one of those people who you just like you don't know what he's gonna do. Like he will always have some crazy outlandish tech to deal with literally anybody. So, and I feel like this team kind of just complements that. Like he can do so much with this team.
This is a scary Sven team.
It is a scary Sven team. Like you don't even know what to expect from it, honestly. Like looking at it, I have no fucking clue how Sven would run this team. Like, and that's a part of why he's so good. But also, I think we got to shout out Sven's 10th pick, Nian Xiao. Like that shit is crazy strong. Like a lot of people are probably gonna sleep on Nian Xiao, but that thing is a monstrosity.
Yeah.
You picked that shit really, Josh.
I did because I picked it round 5 because I knew what I could do.
That's great.
And in my first game, I showed because I got 5 kills.
Yeah.
So it has actually a lot more versatility than people think it does. Like I feel like the two of us can surprise people with how good Nian Xiao is going forward. And I feel like overall Svenny's draft was really strong. It has a really good defensive core and also really strong offensive core, which will be really interesting to see how he implements it too. And he also has sticky webs, which can be used to do some sweeping, which I know Svenny is a really big fan of.
Yeah, I like Patrick's team. He's got really strong fire types. If he can figure out how to use it, he'll be able to do that against Lawrence. I like Langston's team is interesting with the electric terrain.
Yeah, the electric terrain is honestly Alolan Raichu and electric terrain is really good. I hope we get to see how good, because with the rising voltage, nasty plot, and the electric terrain is gonna be really cool to see. Okay, you're gonna be messing up some mons with that thing. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, he's got the double regenerator going too, so that's a good core.
Yeah. Can I say that I love this new like ABA meta even after like week 1? Just because like every team like seems like there's like way more of a cohesive theme from each team, and I think that's just because there's more mons and you can invest into more archetypes, and like more themes are viable now that there are more mons.
Definitely. Like I think last season it was mainly like, oh, you build weather, like, and that's kind of like, oh, that's the surprising thing. But now there's people are using screens more. People are like the Halucha seeds.
Yeah, I really am a fan of that.
Bring up Halucha, bro. There was about to be a fucking riot in Pool B. Fucking Luis trying to pull a fast one on me, bro.
I know you wanted that sniper Kingdra, dude. I know you
Of
wanted.
course, bro. Of course. Hella funny. You
So
wanted.
funny when everyone from Pool A joined the Pool B chat.
Yeah. Dude, it was funny for me because the Pool A chat was like very silent and just like civil, really quiet. And then you just click a button on join Pool B. 1 second, it's just boys off the room, everyone's screaming. It's mayhem in there. It was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so you guys drafted for Lawrence, right? That was the because
It was me, Sven, and Jeremy pretty much making the decisions. Yeah.
Okay, because
And
like
honestly-
honestly, really solid team.
Yeah.
I think that like obviously Ferrothorn, probably one of the best defensive Pokemon you can have.
Yeah.
We saw game one, Matt Ferrothorn literally made Logan quit. Like it's really good. I think his picks that are really underrated are Marowak, Alolan Marowak, Indeedee, and Magnezone. I thought it was really interesting how Magnezone went 6th round in Pool B.
That's insane.
Because the thing is that like we saw how Lawrence ran his Magnezone with that, like which we can get into later when we talk about the games. But like it's a really good Pokemon. I'm so shocked that I went 6th. Like I didn't think there would be any OU Pokemon left by that round. So it was really interesting to see that it went so late. I mean, we saw that Indeedee with Psychic Terrain and Expanding Force, threat. It one-shot so many Pokemon. And Alola Marowak, also, that Ghost Fire typing is really good. Gets rocks. Poltergeist with the club, stupid. That was the dumbest damage you can possibly imagine. It's a really good pick, too. And then with Mew, the versatility is really great. Blissey, fat bitch Pokemon, like, come on, you can't beat that. And then he also has the Hawlucha with the Psychic Seed, too, which is Hawlucha with the Unburdened boost and the Swords Dances. Can't mess with that at all.
Dude, Hawlucha is so horrifying, man.
Yeah, it is a really scary Pokemon.
I was pissing myself over that thing.
You guys want to move on to Pool A?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. But before we die, I said I don't know if we touched on Jake's team, but Jake's team is scary ass rain team. If Jake gets his rain set up, like he's gonna really fuck some people. I feel like when he plays Pat or something who has Sun, it's just gonna be a wash because
If I could just like speak briefly on like why I chose that strategy.
Yeah,
I felt
go ahead.
like I mean like there are definitely like a lot of broken Mons left at number 8 in the draft order, but like I felt if I could just like dip into rain right now and commit super early, I could just like get whatever I wanted in the archetype. So like that was the strategy I took into going pick 8. And we'll see if it pans out. I feel like I invested too much and might want to drop some of my rain assets or like maybe trade something away. But we'll see. I'm proud of the draft. Luis did.
I like that you drafted Pelipper second because basically, if you draft Pelipper, no one else really wants Barraskewda or Kingdra, so it means you can get them later.
Exactly. Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, that's what I kept in mind.
That's how you were able to get like Chansey.
Mm-hmm.
Because you didn't have to spend that early pick on Kingdra.
Right. We'll see if Tangrowth pans out. It's always kind of discouraging playing your draft team on the ladder because you're just going up against like the most broken shit.
Urshifu's. Oh man.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll see if it works out. But yeah, let's go on to Pool A.
All right. You want me to explain my team, or do we just want to? Are we just gonna go over like the picks? Because I don't have much to explain.
We can kind of just go off like first impression synergy. Like we can just kind of go go team by team.
Sure.
Yep. All right. So I mean, like I guess we'll start with my draft. For me, I wanted Volcarona first because I knew like what I said earlier. Like you touch on, like Quiver Dance Volcarona is just really dumb. Like you Quiver Dance and you outspeed almost every single Pokemon unless they're scarfed, and then you can hit hard and get your boost with Fiery Dance, Bug Buzz kills, hits through sub, Psychic for Toxapex, Giga Drain for any like rock type threat. It's really interesting to see. It's like Volcarona is a really good sweeper. So I thought that if I got Volcarona first, like I can really fuck people's team up with that. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked out like that so far, but hopefully like later on we can go. Amoonguss is like having that regenerator defensive Pokemon is really good. Like it just really helps out a team, especially you have the 100% sleep move with Spore. It's super great. Rotom Heat, really versatile. And I feel like at round 4, my draft kind of just fucking fell off a cliff. I picked Tentacruel 4th, which is like if you compare it to like somebody like Louise who drafted Hydreigon 4th, like that is just a fat L.
Yeah.
It's an
You
L.
could have got like I think you could. Wait, who could you have gotten?
Jirachi's even like sick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You got Hat.
I got Alex.
Oh well then.
Like,
Yeah, but the thing is that I feel like draft in the pool A, I feel like people drafted the biggest threats in the first 3 rounds, like really early. So there wasn't as you're not gonna get like the discount picks like a Magnezone round 6 in a pool A when Magnezone got drafted first. Like you have less great ones to pick from. And I was kind of I'm not a great drafter. I was panicking, so I'm like, fuck, I'll just get a Rapid Spinner and Tentacruel. I feel like Tentacruel has some versatility. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to use it. It's gonna be good.
And you were in the car, bro.
Yeah, I was in the car, but I'm not gonna use that as an excuse because not everybody knows. Like, I was driving somewhere and I just had my phone, so it was kind of ass. But
You were driving? That's
like I wasn't driving. I was in the car and somebody somebody else was driving.
Just whipping while he was driving.
But so
So
like, that kind of played.
Let's go on
into
to
it.
Chris's team.
Yeah.
I was like really confused by some of Chris's picks. But I don't know. Watching his game against you, Jazzy, I was really impressed. Like definitely seeing that Chris just had a game plan and like he really uses the Alolan Ninetales well. Like Aurora Veil is a great move. So like Chris's team is pretty strong with that Excadrill Tyranitar.
Yeah.
Hey, that sunny day in Mungus was fucking heat though, Jazzy.
Thank you. Yeah, I needed some way to get like we can touch on that later, but like I needed just a way to get rid of the sand. But also I think an underrated pick for Chris was Talonflame, dude. Talonflame was although Gale Wings got nerfed, super great pickup. Because if like he did, he kept it healthy all game long. And the ability to priority Brave Bird or priority Defog whenever you want is such a plus, and it really can really threaten people's teams, and especially and you have 2 really powerful moves in Flare Blitz and Brave Bird. Honestly, that was a great pickup from Chris. Honestly, I think that might probably like overall like one of the best picks in the league for me. Like, and if you use it properly, it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then he
has hella water types.
Yeah. I think it's weird because I feel like Jake has overall a more coherent rain team compared to Logan. Like Logan has a lot of good Pokemon, but I think Jake's team has more cohesion. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays. I think the Appleton pick is actually honestly really cool.
Appleton is sick.
Appleton is a really cool Pokemon. And also like Hat is always gonna be a threat with Magic Bounce and fuck off, Siri. Sorry. He has like Hat with the magic bounce and what's the Trick Room too, which because he has a really slow team. Like he has no fast Pokemon. His fastest Pokemon is Kingdra, like out of the rain, and so it'll be really interesting to see how he uses Hat going forward. And Ethan has a
Ethan, how do you like your draft?
I'm like really happy with my team, man. I think Dragapult, Scizor, and Jirachi are all really valuable in draft, just in how like they can each do. They all have just different things they can bring, and they're hard to prepare for. That's something I think is going to be really good. Chansey and Hippowdon, pretty reliable walls. I actually really like Ditto is one of the picks I'm most happy with, just because you guys might have seen if you watched my game this week. I just threw it out game 1 to like check out some of his sets and just like scout out what I was working with, because people bring some like fuck shit, and I really wanted to see what like the Mew was going to be doing, so I brought Ditto to like see what he was doing, and it helped out a lot. And also Quagsire, another pick I'm really happy with. I honestly got it for Water Absorb because I saw Logan was getting all these like Rain Bras, and I meant to get Seismitoad, but then Lucas took it, so I got it for Water Absorb, which I think is useful, and then Unaware, obviously, also really useful. So, yeah, I'd say I'm like really happy with everything.
It's a strong trio of walls.
Yeah.
Sylveon 6 is like crazy. Bro.
Yeah. And Jirachi 7th. It was at 7th or was that 6th? Yeah, round 7. I honestly couldn't believe that. That was because it's such a good Pokemon, and I feel like you're going to use it really well. Yeah. And Terrakion 9th is also a super great pickup.
It works well.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Like because you get the Spadef boost, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Like, it just gives it that tankiness.
Yeah, that's been really nice.
I thought Kalen had the best draft.
For in Pool A
Oof.
or overall.
Kalen's draft's
Yeah,
crazy.
Kalen's
It's just-
team.
Oh,
Venusaur
Suncor
Farfetch'd.
910.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't even
insane.
see
Yeah.
that. Oh, that's disgusting, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, his-
Skarmory 6 is really good too. Like it doesn't get pressure and it has like low base HP, but it's essentially Corviknight.
And it
Yeah.
doesn't have the pivoting from U-turn potentially, but like still you're right. It's more if you're running the defensive set, it's almost better defensively than Corviknight is. So it's really a good pickup, especially for such a late pick. And same with Alola Marowak in the sun is going to be really dumb. Like if he can just throw out the Thick Club Flare Blitz and it's going to be doing a lot of damage. So honestly, Matt, I think that Kalen has offensively probably the scariest team, and it's just really good balance too.
Connor's team is pretty nasty as well. Like Alakazam 5th is really good. Mew is a great pick.
Hiram 7th. Wow.
Connor has a great team.
7th.
Yeah, I like Connor's team.
Yeah, honestly, and I like the Incineroar pick too. Incineroar is a really good Pokemon in my opinion because I think Fire Dark is a great typing with the
Parting
Intimidate too, and the Parting Shot for pivoting is really great. You can easily get in a threatening one, like you could Parting Shot into Rillaboom and really do some damage. I'm kind of scared to face Connor's team because he also has that first round Slowbro pick,
yeah.
which is a really great Pokemon. Like if you don't have the means to deal with Slowbro, you can really just straight up lose to it. Just scary.
Dude, Connor's team is scary, man. Having Rillaboom and Hawlucha, grassy terrain, and then having like Slowbro and Incineroar as both really great pivots into those two is like a sick combo.
Rotom Wash as well.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
surprised. I was surprised like how well Scizor beat the Slowbro because I kind of thought Rillaboom was just gonna wash you like if it eventually kept U-turning chip damage.
Uh-huh.
But I think like you played it well, and then like eventually he didn't U-turn. He went for like a grassy glide, and then you got all the momentum, and I think that's when it went downhill for him.
Yeah, definitely.
Matt, how do you feel about your draft? Because those first 3 picks, I'm looking at those and I'm kind of just like,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Your team is incredible.
Yeah, my team is pretty saucy, and I kind of like it's because Lucas made some whack picks. Like I think being right next to him was really nice. Like when he picked side, like I don't think I should have gotten Blissey and Gengar that late, but like
Yeah.
he picked Toad and Keldeo, like it meant they were more open. I don't know. My team's super defensive, so I want to make some trades, just so that I can have more offensive options. But overall, I really like my team. Like I basically just have like tons of slow pivots to bring in Gengar and Crawdaunt. And I think those are some of the best wall breakers.
Yeah, definitely Cronut. Cronut is a super scary Pokemon because there's not many Pokemon that can take knockoff from Cronut and live to tell the tale. Like they just straight up die. But yeah, you're right. Like you have probably the best defensive core out of anybody. But you're saying, like you only have the Gengar, the Cinderace, and the Cronut really for attacking power. So I feel like if you do in the free agency or in waiver pick up some really good threats, like your team can be stupid.
Yeah.
And you also have Slowking, which I feel like a lot is really underrated. Like Slowking is a really good Pokemon still. Yeah.
And yeah, Lucas's team is interesting. I guess
I like the first round Magnezone.
I don't think that's a bad pick. Like Magnezone is a great breaker.
And then Magnezone into Como. I think Como is really good defensively because its typing is great. Like it's not weak to much and it resists a fuck ton of types, which makes it so good. But then you're right. Like the next couple of picks for me are kind of weird, kind of strange. Like the Seismitoad, the Keldeo, the Slowbro, Galar, and the Politoad. So I don't really feel like Rain works on his team at all. Like actually, that's not true. It can work, but I feel like there's better options to have for him at that point in time. And Keldeo is kind of Ethan and I had a conversation about how one-minded Keldeo is, like because of its limited move pool. And Seismitoad isn't the most useful Pokemon, especially now. So I still think he has a really good team, and it'd just be interesting to see how he plays it going forward. but like overall solid draft.
Yeah.
So before we end this, who do you think has overall the best drafts from both pools?
You want to go top 3?
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Wait, also about pool A or about pool B, did we just forget Cinderace was in the pool? Because it got like picked up off waivers, right? By Langston on some crazy shit.
Yeah. I mean, when I had like texted Jeremy, I was like, "Yo, make sure like people know that Cinderace is free." Because like I announced it to Pool A.
Yeah, I think he did say some shit we just forgot on the spot.
Yeah.
Do you remember, Luis?
Sleeper.
No, I don't really remember. I wasn't really
Yeah.
pick up non-Libero Cinderace anyways.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't on my radar.
Yeah, I mean, without its busted ass ability, it's still good, but just not. It's kind of it's definitely stunted without that ability.
Yeah.
But
I would say the top 4 drafts are, I think Kalen, Connor, Jeremy, and Sven.
Really,
Connor in
Svenny.
there.
Yeah, I think Sven's team is dirty. That's my top 4.
I agree with Kalen and Jeremy, but I think I'm gonna throw your team in there, Matt, and probably there I might say Luis, because Luis has just got a fucking scary team from top to bottom. Like every single one of his Pokemon is really good.
I'm gonna be like real, bro. My defensive core is like lacking. Like I
Yeah.
have some strong threats, and I have I have a lot of versatility, but like I wasn't really thinking about a defensive core when I drafted. I was just kind of like, yo, let's get some strong shit, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it's still. I definitely think I have like a good draft, but it could have been. I think it could have been better. Like if I focused on getting like at least 2 like core like defensive like threats, you know.
It's very clutch you got Melodic back. Like someone didn't swipe it from you.
Yeah.
Because like you definitely need that wall.
Yeah, that's either. It has flip turn too. You know, it's a
Yeah.
pitch now.
But like the all-out offensive like aggro teams, I kind of had that last season, and it is a little frustrating that like you kind of are forced into one strategy without any reliable walls.
yeah, it's
No one really has a defensive team except for Jeremy. I
Of course,
guess
it would be Jeremy, bro.
Langston does have 2 of the
Langston's got a fat
scariest
team.
defensive Pokemon with Toxapex and Amogus. Like that's just really dumb.
I guess
But you're right.
Ben has some good defensive options too, like Gastro and Sylveon.
Mandibuzz.
Yeah, I would say like we're running pretty long, so I think maybe for the recap, we could just highlight like maybe 1 or 2 matches that stood out to us.
Yeah, that's
Sure,
I agree.
So one new thing that we're keeping track of this year is plus minus. Where
sick.
plus minus is basically like how many Pokemon are alive that you have alive after you win the game. So like when Jeremy 6-0'd Ricky, he gets plus 6. So like the best in a given week you can do is plus 12, and the worst you can do in a week is minus 12. So that's just the spectrum of it, and it'll be interesting to see how people do throughout.
Matt, you put up an 11, bro. So did Jer. That's crazy, man.
But also, before we get into that, I think that we need to touch on how, from now on, we would discourage forfeiting. Like, even if you know you're going to lose, just play out the game all the way, just to see so it doesn't affect or where I would collect the plus-minus ratio. Like, I think that it's just important, just for the data keeping, that everybody plays their game all the way to the end instead of giving up.
Just have forfeiting count as a 6-0.
That's what it was like.
Okay.
So I like when I beat Logan, he like forfeited like 15 turns into both games. So
shit.
Those are 5-0s and 6-0s, but the reason we're going to say you're not allowed to forfeit games is because we're keeping track of kills. And so by forfeiting, you're taking away kills that Pokemon aren't getting.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is also something that Jeremy is helping us with. Is that
Jeremy, you savage, bro? This is crazy.
We're keeping track of KD ratios. Some of them are red. That means a Pokemon hasn't died yet. So if you haven't died, you have a perfect KD. And I think so. The leaders of this week were Excadrill with 10 kills. Mineshaw went off. Who else went off? I think like
Dragapult probably.
Lawrence's Halucha went off.
Yeah.
Gashford on, bro. Fucking Spence Gashford on.
Oh yeah, that was dirty. It'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. And like, I think what we're also gonna do is we're gonna try to keep data on like what typings are best and like what type of combos are best, because there's definitely like water is really great combo with Ferrothone. So we're gonna try to do some interesting stuff on that, just to like, I think if we can get info on that, it'll be really cool that if people have that knowledge going into the next draft, really get like just crazy synergy with people's teams. So yeah, stats are cool. I thought that the matches that stood out to me as the most hype were definitely Ethan versus Connor.
Yeah.
That was a fun set, man. I think like the first game, the Hawlucha like straight up would have ran me if it was close combat instead of drain punch, but my Jirachi was able to live and then knock it out with Zen Headbutt. And then I tried to adapt to it by switching to Sylveon in the second game instead of Chansey, and then still just got ran by the Hawlucha because I didn't have an answer for it. That thing had me sweating, man. Yeah, here's the Matt's pulling up. So this is the final game. I was really hyped about this adaptation I made, which was after just getting rocked in the second game. I kind of looked down my picks and I was like, all right, what am I gonna do about this Hawlucha? Saw my boy Quagsire in the back, threw him on the team with Unaware, and yeah, I think that really played to my advantage, and I picked up a 6-0 on this game, which I was super stoked about.
6-0 is insane.
Yeah,
that is insane.
Connor's
Also
shout
out to 06 Gucci Mane. I thought that was pretty funny name.
Yeah, like right here. This is when I think Connor didn't have a way to win.
Yeah, I mean, I also did get lucky with this burn on the skull, but I don't think it would have mattered.
It didn't matter. I think close combat was not doing more. Did you have recover?
Yeah.
You had recover. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really impressive by you, Ethan.
Thank you. Yeah, the Quagsire definitely put in.
That did 11%.
Yeah, Quagsire put in pretty crazy work, dude. I wouldn't have won without him for sure.
Yeah. All right. I think the other exciting match that went to game 3 was Jazzy Chris. Do you want to talk a little bit about your match, Jazzy?
Yeah. So for me, I didn't really have the most insane game plan. I saw Chris's team. I ran the calcs. Mian Xiao actually, it one-shotted every single Pokemon on his team except for Gyarados. And Gyarados got 2-shot by Rock Slide. So I was thinking like, okay, I just need to be able to play smart with my Mian Xiao, start high jump kicking, and start rock sliding and get it into a position where Mian Xiao can really put some work in. And I knew that I could do that with Amoonguss. Like Amoonguss was, for me, was really huge that first game. Also clearing the sand so Excadrill wouldn't outspeed me, and setting up grassy terrain so I wouldn't take shit damage from Earthquake. And in game 1 it worked because we saw I got 5 kills with high jump kick Mian Xiao. But I think we really got to give credit to Chris because he adapted really quickly. It's like to my play style, even though he didn't get to change his team for game 2. And I think that the most underrated, like the 2 Pokemon that gave me the most trouble for Chris were Gyarados and Talonflame. Chris's Talonflame was really hard to mess with because he played it so well and kept it at full health. I could not switch Mian Xiao to do what I wanted to do because he could always priority Brave Bird me and one-shot me. So I was always forced to play around that. And my defensive walls couldn't handle Talonflame either because they were both pretty weak to it, except for Rotom Heat. And I needed Rotom Heat to stay healthy to fight the Gyarados. So he played really well overall. And like also with his Ninetales with the Aurora Veil really helped him out in getting those wins. And like overall, Excadrill was just overwhelmed my team and he got the W. So Chris played really well, and I think he deserved that win.
That was impressive.
It was really impressive showing from him.
Luis, Jake, did you guys want to talk about your games?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Roserade put in work, bro. That was sick.
Wait, did you peep the utility umbrella attack?
No.
Oh, you're
what?
using that, dude? Oh, I was
What is
planning on
that?
using that.
Okay, so
Killing Bro's crazy.
So Synthesis and Moonlight on Necrozma and Roserade, they do like a third. They only heal a third in rain typically, but I gave them Utility Umbrella, which canceled weather effects. So
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
them
That's
passive
sick.
instead. And
Yeah.
I'm really glad that one paid off. And I'm also really stoked that my sub Dragapult worked like it should have. It actually, I want to say it was a really good play when you double toxic and got the toxic off on it game 3.
Oh, dude, the Grim Snarl, bro. I thought I was gonna do something. I
uh,
said it with the bulk ups.
oh, dude, yeah.
But
I was actually really scared of
at the end,
Trev. That shit was crazy.
it would have came down to like a sucker punch, like fucking standoff with your Dragapult and my Grim Snarl. Would have been crazy. But no, hats off to you. I think it shows that like the person who prepares more and has the stronger game plan will likely be the like person who will win. Not to take anything away from like your skill, but like you picked up Mantine, which like pretty much hard counters my team.
Yeah,
Um,
that shit
So like
was hard.
it was
brain, man. Like,
it was tough, but
Yeah.
yeah, just makes me have to like strategize even deeper and go like figure out how to make the archetype successful when everyone knows what you're gonna bring.
yeah, definitely. Also, that Snorlax caught you off guard, too.
It did, bro. That like won you the game, bro. That felt so bad.
Yeah.
Game 3, Snorlax. But no, hats off to you. That was a good game, good match, good set.
It was a good set, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Basically every other game was kind of washes. I was super impressed by Lawrence. Like he
Yeah.
didn't draft his team and he just figured out. I was texting Lawrence like the night before. I was like, "Yo, have you had a chance to play with your team?" He said, "Nah." Like he made his team that morning, and I just like I thought the Magnezone body press sub. I thought that was set of the week.
Yeah, honestly, I agree.
Single-handedly, that took out 2 Mons. Like he magnet pulled the Bronzong, and yeah, I thought Lawrence big brain, and
Yeah.
that was
I find that so interesting that Lawrence made his team the morning of because I was working with Patrick literally all week long thinking about what teams he was going to bring. And the funny thing is that the team that Lawrence brought was the exact team that I made to play with Pat against Lawrence's team. But he's still like, I didn't know what tech he was going to bring because I was running the Specs Magnezone with Analytic to see how, because that honestly, it ran through his team. But just to see that he brought the Iron Defense body presses was crazy to me because that did so much work and it was such a scary Pokemon. He couldn't deal with that at all. And even after he adjusted, he still lost to it, which was just telling to how, even though he made it the day of, just how good of a player Lawrence can be.
Yeah. So I think we can close out the podcast where we talk about. I just want to announce what's the Pokemon that are on the waivers.
Yep.
And then we'll also just go into predictions. I think we could just kind of go through predictions pretty quickly because we're running pretty long.
Lot to talk about.
Yeah, it's exciting to see that everyone's using free agency. Like that's really dope. Like that's cool that people are just trying to adapt and find.
It's also I feel like it's only gonna go up too because like people just want to like keep their picks close to them because it's like early.
Yeah.
Definitely. Also, just I think since there was so many new Mons introduced in this second season, there's just like there's crazy good Mons on free agency. Like I think Chandelure is like a free agent in both. So these are the Pokemon on waivers this week. So we're gonna from now on, free agency is gonna close Wednesday at 10 p.m. We're gonna record the podcast on Wednesdays so that we can announce which Pokemon are on waivers, and you guys can submit a waiver claim here. Make sure you don't type it here because the waiver claim is meant to be private. So right now, Lucas and Jake have the highest priority. So basically how the waiver works is everyone submits it. If they want to, they submit it privately, and then I'll announce it on Friday night at 8 p.m. So yeah, these are the Pokemon on waivers. If you want, you're allowed to do a free agency swap and a waiver swap within 1 week. So yeah, if you want any of these Pokemon, fill out a waiver claim. The next thing we're going to move on to is predictions for this next week too.
Gotta lean for this one.
Yes, we didn't have week 1, so I'm trying to think. Could someone like read it to me so I can type it in instead of having to go back and forth?
All right. Game 1 for I'll just go Pool A. It's Lucas versus Ethan. And then it's Connor versus Chris. Logan versus Kaylin.
Me versus you.
And me versus you.
And then how about for Pool B?
Pool B is Lawrence versus Jeremy. Patrick versus Langston. Ricky versus Jake.
All right.
And in my opinion, the biggest match is Louise versus Sven.
Sheesh.
Oh boy, oh, that's gonna
Sheesh.
be sick, bro. All right, let's start with Pool A. Pool A, game 1, Lucas versus Ethan. I mean, I'll go first. Honestly, I think that's gonna be probably a pretty routine dub for Eth, based off of week 1, like and how well Ethan adapted to Connor and just the strength of his team. I think he's really just gonna overpower Lucas, who after seeing his first game versus Kaylin, it wasn't very convincing. Like, I'm sure that Lucas has some tech. He's got the memes, so hopefully he's got the tech to back it up. But I just think Ethan's gonna overpower him game 1. Or game 2, excuse me. Match week 2.
Games 2, boy. Let's run it.
I think Ethan's going to take it as well. I would hope to see Lucas bounce back and have a more impressive outing than last week. I think definitely Haxford could put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
But Chansey is a huge wall, and well, it'll be an interesting game. I think Dragapult's going to put in work again.
Yeah, similar to everyone else, I got Ethan, but don't count yourself out, Lucas. First time in the ABA, first match. You know, it's a tough league. You got to adjust. So I'm expecting a good outing from you this week.
I got myself as well. I'm looking forward to another fun set this week.
Yeah, I got my boy. I got Ethan. I don't know.
Damn,
All right.
unanimous Eth. Lucas is fighting against the odds.
Connor Chris, that's a great matchup. Shall we get into it, boys?
Oh, yes.
Hey, let's
There's
just hope,
time.
let's hope he doesn't come through with embargo, guys. You never know what'll happen. Connor's, Connor, he's scheming Schofield, man. You don't know if he's going to bring embargo or what other illegal nonsense.
So funny.
Yeah. I got Connor, man. He really showed me what he could do this week. I think he's really nice at this game, and he knows what's up, and I believe in him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got Connor as well. I think he's the most promising newcomer and can do some damage in Pool A, mix things up a little bit.
I think definitely having that grassy terrain will help contain the Excadrill. Also, just like Slowbro is a tank. I feel like the only thing that can really kill the Slowbro is Hydreigon. Chris did add Escavalier this week, so I'm excited to see what he has planned for Escavalier.
Oh, yeah.
Slowbro. That would for sure smoke Slowbro.
Alexamin the Mew, too. And the Kyurem.
Oh, first impression is going to put in work.
And the Umbreon, bro. That's a good tech.
Yeah.
I didn't know it got that. I did
That's
not
good
know
tech.
it got that.
That is impressive.
How are
Incineroar.
you feeling about this, Louise? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling Connor for sure, just because I think Connor's draft is fucking nasty. I feel like it's a draft, and I think Chris's draft is like a little less conventional.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I think that Connor overall has the better matchup. I feel like Rillaboom is going to put in a lot of work versus Chris's team. However, I'm not going to count Chris out. I feel like Chris has an opportunity to win. Like, I feel like he can pull out some tech, but I still think Connor is going to take it.
I think it's going to go 3 games and that Connor's going to take it.
Yeah.
Ethan, who you got?
Connor.
Connor. All right,
And
Logan
no
versus
picks for Chris. Well, Kaylin, bro, count it.
Yeah, Kaylin easy. Zeraora is going to –
Sorry, Logan, bro.
Zeraora is going to
Yeah.
6-0 his team. I'm sorry. It's just going to be a wash. It
You just-
outspeeds everything in it.
Wait.
Damn near Oko's everything.
Wait, it's actually over before the game even started, bro. He has nothing for that Pokemon.
He can't stop Zeraora.
He can't switch into
can't.
Plasma Fist with any of his mons.
Except for Appleton, but then he just gets play rough. So
Everyone have Kaylin?
yeah, I have Kaylin. I feel like this is the only match that can potentially go. Well,
Ooh, Jazzy
maybe.
Matthew, bro.
Damn, because the one thing that I'm scared of is that Matt picked up Gigalith. I was so upset because I was gonna pick up Gigalith on free agency next week just so my Volcarona wouldn't get walled. you cannot even boosted ×2. You can't one shot Gigalith in the sand at all.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be hard to deal with the Excadrill. I mean, excuse me, the Gigalith, as well as the Mandibuzz, the Ferrothorn, and the Blissey. Like, I'm just really scared that I'm gonna have to be fighting a game where I'm just going up against just those fat walls all game long. But I still think that if I can get rid of the Gigalith and get rid of the Blissey, I can have a shot at winning. But that's the hard part. I'm obviously going to be rooting for myself for my own game, but I do think I have a shot at winning. But I also think Matt has a really good chance at just rolling things out, and especially just switching Crawdon into my Pokemon and getting kills. But I got to give the vote of confidence to myself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to vote for myself too, but I think that Indeedee pickup is pretty genius.
Yeah.
As if you don't have that Psychic Terrain, Crawdon could just 6-0.
And Aqua Jet, yep.
So
That's why I got it.
other than Gigalith, I was thinking of picking up Lycanroc, and I'm so glad I didn't. Because
Lycanroc
if I
is
picked up
trash.
Lycanroc, Indeedee would have just neutralized that. So yeah, I'm excited. I kind of hope it goes 3 games. Just
I honestly think it's gonna be a really good game.
Showcase more.
Me and Shao can put some work in, and
Yeah.
as well as Indeedee. So we'll see. I'm really excited to see what sets you bring. Really excited to see what Pokemon you bring. And I feel like it's just gonna be like a really good friendly match. And this time there's no Corviknight, so I won't get stalled out and get pissed. Yeah, how are you guys feeling? How are you feeling, Jake? How are you feeling about this game?
I don't know. I got Matt. I feel like his defensive core is just going to be too tough to break.
I see
Especially
that,
with
yeah.
Tentacruel fourth. Come on, Jossie. Bro.
Yeah, dude, leave me alone, man. Tentacruel's gonna have some tech later on. We'll see.
All right, bro.
Matt, great player, great picks. I'm going Jazzy this week. Just I know he wants to. I know he wants to stub. I want to see what this Mienshao can do against Blissey. Air out this Blissey and Gigalith, and Volcarona is poised for a dub after that one. I'm curious to see how this will go.
That's a good pick.
Ethan, I appreciate that. FYI, Mienshao has the potential to one-shot your entire team.
Oh.
Just throw, except for Mandibuzz, actually. Except for Mandibuzz. Just throwing that out there. Luis, how you feeling?
Dude, Matt's definitely got the draft advantage. Like,
yeah,
definitely, like, absolutely.
like 100%. There's
like
no
100%.
Objectively a better team.
Yeah,
He does.
100%.
He does.
But like, Jazzy, like,
There's no other way to cut it.
I'm gonna go for you, Jazzy, because I
damn.
got the tech.
Let's go.
I believe that you got the tech.
He's the tech
I
man.
mean, I'm already in the lab. I've been cooking up some stuff.
That's a big out, bro, because you got advantage, bro. You got it.
Thanks, Louise.
It'll be a good set.
I think it's gonna be a great set.
Let's move on to Pool B, and then we'll wrap up our podcast.
Sounds
Lala
good.
versus Jeremy. That would be.
Yeah, I mean, Lala.
I love
got
Lawrence's
a good
team.
and is good, but Jared's just gonna take it, dude. I'm sorry. He's too good of a player and has too good of a draft. I honestly can see Jeremy going undefeated.
Tough.
That's my early prediction. He has some really tough players, but I just think he can go undefeated.
It's going to be interesting. It'll be a terrain battle. Obviously I don't know if Lawrence will bring the same team that he brought, but
he probably will.
Luckily, Jeremy does have the Rillaboom, so that I think Jeremy's Rillaboom will be good for countering the Indeedee Psychic Terrain. So yeah, I think whoever can control that will probably have the momentum in the game.
Yeah.
I feel like Lawrence could have a hard time breaking Jeremy's core because Slowking can kind of just wall the Alakazam. Skarmory. I guess. Oh, he does have the Magnezone for Skarmory. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, he has a Magnezone actually puts in a lot of work. Like, I know he has zero aura. Jared has zero aura to take Voltorb, so he can't just throw electric type moves out whenever he feels like it. But like overall, that Magnezone kind of puts some work in. Like, it deals with Slowbro, Skarmory. It can one-shot the Kyurem with Flash Cannon. It can kill the Cloyster, kill the Hat, kill the Weezing, and the Slowking. I think so. I think that Crocodile pickup from Jeremy is honestly really interesting. It'll go a long way to to neutralize the Magna Zone.
Yeah, I think Jeremy could have a potentially hard time breaking the Ferrothorn and Blissey.
Yeah, that too.
Like, I guess
Ferrothorn,
Crocodile and Rillaboom get, like, Drain Punch, Close Combat. But,
Zeraora does get Blaze Kick and Fire Punch, which he's going to have to run that. But, like, other than that, he doesn't really have much to deal with the Ferrothorn. And maybe, like, Specs Kyurem with Ice Beam would do a lot of damage, but like, he has no surefire way of really killing it except for that Blaze Kick on Zeraora. Honestly, this game might be closer than you think.
yeah.
I'm still giving it to Jer.
Yeah, I think Jeremy's got this as well.
I got Jer as well.
I'm going Jeremy too, bro. Lawrence is
Yeah.
mad talented, but there's only so much you can do against Jeremy, man.
I think
Shout out to Lala still.
Honestly, Rillaboom's just such a better mon than Indeedee, like in like every way possible, I feel. And I think that will definitely give Jeremy the advantage. But I don't want to count Lawrence out because he's hella good and he has a good ass team. So it'll be a close game for sure.
Yeah.
Moving on, Patrick versus Langston.
It's a great matchup.
I think this is going to be a really interesting match. I think it's going to come down to how well Langston uses Pinchurchin if he does decide to use Electric Terrain and the other one, Raichu. But my thing is that Pat is really knowledgeable about Pokemon, but this is actually his first time playing in a meta. Like, he's never played Showdown before this. So it'd be really interesting because he's adapting really quickly. And I feel like his team has a really good matchup against Langston's team. So I think this one's up in the air, but I'm gonna give it to Pat, honestly. Because with the preparation that I've seen him put in, I think he can beat Langston.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the matchup.
I got Langston.
I think it's
Yeah.
similar. It's sort of similar to me and you, how it's like the Volcarona versus Crawdaunt.
Yeah.
Whoever, like, I feel like if one person can set up the other before, then it's kind of game.
Yeah.
I think he's
I'm gonna predict Langston as well.
It's a mix-up.
Yeah, this one's definitely pretty mixed. I think I'm gonna go Langston. I feel like Toxapex puts in a ton of work against
You're right.
Patrick, but unless he can like get Venusaur going, that could definitely be promising. It could go either way, but I'm gonna go Langston.
Also, like, Scarf and Spec Chandelier puts in a lot of work against Langston's team. Like, there's not like, I don't think he has any Pokemon that could switch into a Shadow Ball. Which is like I still think, like, honestly, I think Langston, since he's a more experienced player, probably has the greater advantage despite Patrick's like team matchup. But I'm just saying, don't sleep on Pat. He's got some tech cooking up in the kitchen too. So it'll be really interesting to see.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna give it to Pat actually because I mean I believe in him. He's really knowledgeable about Pokemon. Also, the offensive core of Volcarona and Azu, like especially Belly Drum, is really scary. It's hard to prepare like walls for both of them. Like, for example, if he wants to wall the Volcarona, he's gonna have to be specially defensive Pex, but then he doesn't wall the Azumarill anymore. You know, so it's kind of like a mix up of what Langston wants to bring in that way, and I think that gives Pat like an offensive advantage.
Yeah.
Definitely agree there.
All right. Where is it? Ricky versus Jake.
Jake.
I think the rain is much better than the sand.
Yep. I think Jake just has the better matchup. I know Ricky has the Water Absorb Vaporeon, which will be a really annoying Pokemon for Jake to deal with. But he still has a Rotom Wash, and he still has a Tangrowth to deal with that. And like dropping Dracos with Kingdra. Does he even have a Fairy type? He does. He has
Klefki. Yeah.
If he doesn't bring Klefki, then that's free Dracos on every time Kingdra switches in. And just after what I saw from Ricky's game one, I'm just not really convinced he can beat a player of Jake's caliber either. Like he really just kind of, his game two versus Jeremy was low-key embarrassing. I didn't understand the thought process there at all. So, like, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I gotta be honest. Like, that was really bad. Like, I don't understand that. I didn't understand that at all. Like, no disrespect to Ricky. Like, he's probably a cool bro, but like that was an L. And I just think Jake is a good enough player to really expose like a sand team. I mean, I'm not saying it with any disrespect.
Hey man, Ricky's my boy. I definitely could see him. He's got water absorb. I could see him putting in some work in the lab. I think he needs some more time just with the game in general. But I could see him putting in the time and definitely bringing out a much better showing than last week. I am gonna go Jake for this week. Jake's just way more experienced, and also the team's looking nice.
Yeah. However, I just saw you can't sleep on the. Although we know how much of a letdown it is, the Bolt beat Drake result.
Yeah, he's got the matchup for it, bro.
Yeah,
If that thing hits
kills
its
the
Bolt
chug.
beaks, then it's done for.
Bro, if the Drakeazole runs hot, you never know what's possible, man.
Yeah,
It just decides not to miss.
that's very true.
That would be sick if Stand Rush was legal.
Yeah. Oh my God, that'd be really great for his team. Because if he gets that up, he doesn't have to worry about running a scarf. He can run wide lens or a choice band. Sheesh, that'd be disgusting. But that's theoretical, so it doesn't even matter. Now this is the match of the week. This is gonna be stupid crazy. This is gonna be Tech City. This is gonna be insanity. I can't believe
What
it.
y'all think? I want to know what y'all think
This
is
is
gonna
gonna
go
be
down.
Hold the teams.
Like always, okay. My thing is that you're always looking at the team, and you look at Luis's team compared to Sven's team, and you're thinking, okay, Luis's team all the way, but it's Sven. Like I know Sven's my best friend, but I'm not removing all bias. Like this guy is a Pokemon master. He is Pokemon Trainer Red. Like he's that guy. when it comes to preparing for people's teams in Tech, like he is in second to none. So it's gonna be close to call, honestly, because Luis is fucking good too. Dude, like he does have the Dragapult wall this time, so Dragapult will be harder to use for Luis. Svenny has a Scizor answer, but then again, like Hydreigon puts in work versus Sven's team.
Yeah, it does.
This one is so hard to call. Like at the end of the day, I think it's just going to really come down to who's going to prepare the best for their opponent, and usually that's Sven. I'm going to give Svenny the nod, but I would not be surprised at all if Luis wins. Yeah, because Luis, your team goes dumb. I'm sorry, it's really strong.
Dude, I think Sven has a much better team. I have like a lot of offense, but this man has his team is really fucking good. It's insane. It's tough to prepare for, but like I got some plans in the works. Got some strats.
Yeah, bro. I've been grazing around in the lab with Luis a little bit, and all I'm gonna say is he's bringing in some nice tech that I think is really gonna pay off. That said, Sven is so hard to prepare for. I don't know what the fuck he's gonna bring either.
Yeah.
So
That's the thing. That's the main thing.
yeah, I think Luis is coming in prepared for sure.
I got Luis.
Really? Wow. This is gonna be so crazy.
Yeah.
I got Luis as well.
Ooh, Svenny.
I think if Luis can kill Mandibuzz, that'll really open up the game. I mean, clearly,
Yeah.
Ben's not gonna let that happen. But I think also just both players have so many options to pivot. So if one player, I think a lot of it could come down to just like guessing the right lead. If you get momentum from turn one, and you can just put the other person in a vortex, I think that'll be really big.
Yeah.
Whoever can get up rocks first.
Also, I think Luis is gonna have to watch out for sticky webs too. Like if Svenny gets sticky webs up and Luis can't deal with it, like he can't defog them away, it's gonna be hard. That's gonna be a hard game for Luis. But I mean, again, Luis is not an amateur. He's not gonna let Svenny get webs up. Like it's nobody's business. So this is probably easily gonna be the most interesting game of the week. I think it's hands down.
Yeah, I don't really have any other analysis. I've got Sven this week though. I think he has the team advantage.
Hey, this just in, bro. Jeremy just dropped Cloister for Darman just now. Cool B.
Oh, I'm so hurt, bro. I wanted Darmanitan, bro. Fuck. It's fine. Get something else. Jeremy, you fucking genius, bro.
Dropped.
He's lucky we didn't change it yet.
Cloister mid, bro. Cloister mid. Ain't nobody want Cloister.
Yeah, but the thing is, if Closer can't get its setup off, it's low key garbage. It doesn't hit hard. It's so specially weak that he could get killed by a thunder wave. That's how weak it is. So that's a really good pickup. Honestly, Darmanitan hits stupid hard.
I think maybe he was just making sure Patrick couldn't get it or something. Oh no, Patrick already did shit. Never mind.
All right. Well, that was a really good podcast. Lots of interesting content. Oh, whoops. So yeah, just like oh yeah, one thing I want to say is we added people's numbers here. So just be good about communicating. I think like it's better to text them ahead rather than wait last minute. Like don't wait till Sunday. Yeah, I think we'll have another good week of battles.
Agreed. I say keep it up, boys. I like the dedication and how competitive it is this time around. It's a fresh breath of air, and I hope it continues on through the entire season. I look forward to seeing what everybody can do.
Yep.